let's start with Urban Meyer. Urban tells Yahoo Sports that if college football is played in the spring, he says to play in the spring and then go play OTAs in the NFL, that's not fair. I don't know if I'd advise a guy to play a spring season before going to the NFL, which would take, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, a lot of guys. I don't know. Who knows? Was that only for first round picks? Is that for guys who are going to go in lower rounds? Presumably, say a guy like Baron Browning. Shaun Wade, who came back to Ohio State, even though many people thought he would have been a first round pick in the NFL. And since Damon Arnett was, I think that's a plausible scenario. Shaun Wade's father told, I think it's Suncoast News in Florida, that if spring football is when college football is played this season, Shaun Wade is, and I quote, out of here, baby.
Yeah, we said that. I think it's the wrong thing to do for those guys. Maybe other guys want to risk. Depends where you are. If you're a Division III player, Division II player, or if you're a player playing college football now that does not want to play in the NFL, or it doesn't look like you're going to play in the NFL, then you can't play in the spring. There's too much to risk. You can't go to OTAs. The draft is in the spring, although the NFL does have the ability to move the draft into June, but the draft is in the spring. There's no training. You can go right to OTAs. You're not even healed up from the season if you play in the spring.
Right.
There's no recovery time. It's a bad idea. And I'm with Shaun Wade's father. I'm with, if I were related to Justin Fields, before I'd have him take one snap in a uniform in the spring, I'd go tackle him. There's no way you can play in the
Or
spring.
wrap him in bubble wrap.
Why are we doing this? I mean, you know, my whole thing is, people say that if you want college sports, not everybody obviously, but there's a sentiment out there that people say, if you want college sports, then you're a selfish person. If you want the NFL to play, you're a selfish person. I say that if you don't want these things to go and continue on, I say then you are a selfish person.
Okay, why?
Because, for example, I think that if you want everybody to make decisions based off of how you feel, that is wrong. If you are concerned about playing, if I'm an NFL player and let's say my wife has cancer, if I'm an NFL player, my wife has cancer, and I were to go now, I would seriously think about it because of a compromised immune system.
Of course.
There's two choices that I would have. I would have somebody else take care of her, and I would stay in a hotel and stay away from her just in case that I got COVID, and I would not want to expose somebody with cancer, with an underlying condition.
Well, we've seen that with Dave Odom, I think, the Wake Forest coach, who's going to live apart from his wife because of that very scenario.
He's made a decision to do that, right? And that's his choice and his decision. Dave Odom didn't say, well, if I can't play, nobody else can play. It's not fair. It's selfish to try to take away somebody else's opportunities because of your personal circumstances. That's common sense. That's selfishness to the nth degree. When your circumstances, you try to dictate your circumstances onto somebody else. Is it fair for you? No. Nothing's fair.
Nothing's fair.
Not in this life. There's not one thing that's fair.
That's right. Sooner you grasp that and come to peace with that, find a way to cope with that, the better off you're going to be.
I mean,